to my channel. You can tell that I didn't pin my corset back because you can't see the bottom half of my body, so I'm just leaving it loose. I'm really self-conscious about my hair. I like teased it really high and I feel like it's not giving Dolly Parton, it's giving, I don't know what it's giving. But you're here and I'm really excited, especially about what we're gonna talk about today. Because a lot of people, when they think about traveling abroad to have plastic surgery, they think of like the show Botched and like going to Mexico or like waking up without a kidney or something like that. And things like that are usually stereotyped for a reason. I mean, they don't just come up out of nowhere. So it's really important that you do your research and find out if that place is actually credible source or if you really are gonna wake up without a kidney. But in my experience, going to Brazil was totally worth it. And the number one reason for this was the cost. Because in Brazil, the currency is 1/5 of what the US dollar is. So basically, if you have one daughter for $5 Brazilian dollars. No, $1 US equals $5 Brazilian dollars, reais. And so it's like you're taking $1 from the US and you have $5 in Brazil. So getting, a boob job here in the US would be like $10,000. Brazil, that means it would be like $2,000, which obviously I didn't have that done as one of my surgeries because you have eyes. President talked with the itty bitty titty committee. But like I talked about in my previous video, I spent about $50,000 US in Brazil, which would have been like $250,000 here. So that is a huge reason that I got all of my procedures done in Brazil. But even though cost was a really big motivator to do my surgeries in Brazil, it wasn't the only reason. Brazil is known as like a beauty mecca, right? I mean, we've got the Brazilian butt lifts, we've got the Brazilian wax, we've got the Brazilian hair straightening treatment, got all of these Brazilian things. Why? Because Brazilian women are like the standard of beauty. And also, plastic surgery is so much more common in Brazil. Like literally everybody in my husband's immediate family, himself included, has had plastic surgery except his dad. And I'm pretty sure his dad would do it if we pushed him enough. But plastic surgery is just so commonplace there. It's like walking in and getting Botox or fillers there. It's like, oh, you don't like your nose? Get a nose job. It's not a big deal. Anyway, because of the commonality of plastic surgery in Brazil, these doctors are, they're popping in and out every day doing these procedures. They're basically pros at it. And so it's something that gave me a lot more confidence because I knew that the person doing my surgeries, they had done this thousands of times before, literally, probably 10 a day. And also the benefit too of the cost is that you can afford the best of the best in Brazil. So it's not like you're going and you're trying to find the most affordable option. That's my dog. You can actually spend that money and be able to afford the number one surgeon in that area. For me, of course, there was another factor that I went to Brazil, and that's because the whole other half of my family is Brazilian and lives in Brazil. So I knew that I would have people there to take care of me. I think a really big issue people have is when they travel abroad for plastic surgery, they're by themselves and they don't have anybody there to actually go with them, take them home, watch out for them in case they have terrible side effects or they don't speak the language, so it's really hard. So I was really lucky that I had my whole Brazilian family over there to be able to help watch me, take care of me, make sure that I wasn't dying. And that being said, Brazil is not the only good place you can travel for plastic. If you don't have anybody that can go with you, actually one of the places that I was looking up when I was looking at doing these procedures was South Korea, because they really specialize in the V-line surgeries, really feminizing the face. And what they'll do is they get you at some of the hospitals, they give you a translator for the week. They go with you to the consultation to make sure there's no Korean English language barrier. You basically stay at the hospital for a week, like a hotel, but you're just really taken care of until it's time to go home and they take you to the airport and all that stuff. So I looked at a whole package like that, but oh my gosh, is that expensive? It's expensive. So I didn't do that. I went with the cheaper route, but at least it was still a good quality route. And that being said, even in talking about the translator, it is so important that if you're traveling abroad, especially to Brazil, you have to make sure that either the doctor speaks English, and I mean really speaks English, not like they know a couple words and they say they speak English, I mean like really fluent, or you take a translator with you to be able to really communicate. And I'm lucky that I had my husband who's Brazilian, I speak Portuguese, so I was able to be really clear about what I wanted. But it's something that you'd really want to think about in going to Brazil for plastic surgery. Just make sure that your doctor speaks English, or that, again, you take somebody who can do the translating for you. The final part to all of this, I think that a lot of people wonder is it safe? Especially because a lot of the political things that are happening in Brazil, people are like, is now a good time to go? Is it safe? I will say for where I went in Brazil, it was extremely safe. It is very important that if you're traveling, which you most likely would be traveling to São Paulo, which is the capital, it's not actually the capital of Brazil, but it's like the business capital of Brazil, which is probably where you'd be going for these surgeries. Stick to the touristy places. And if you stick to the really touristy places, you're gonna be fine. I mean, don't go out at night like you would here. I mean, nobody would walk around New York City alone at night in the subway unless you're a crazy person. So just don't do that and you're gonna be fine. So I always, again, would just do your research, talk to the clinic, get a hotel or an Airbnb that's really close to the clinic so you can just take a quick Uber or even just walk over. But as long as you're doing things during the day and you're not like waving around that you're American, you're gonna be just fine. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it at all helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. If you didn't find it helpful, keep it to yourself. Just kidding. I don't want to get haters in the comments because it just means more views on the algorithm for me. So say anything that you want to me. And also remember that you are so loved. If you ever need somebody to talk to or you need a place to open up, the comment section, well, not always for people, but for me, the comment section, safe place. I would super love to answer any questions you have, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Goodbye.